My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Ready? Play.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to what is built to be potentially one of the sort of first sort of proper, I say proper, but first big heavyweight match between two top players, certainly when it comes to United Cup action on the men's side. We've just had the first, what feels like a proper good match between Leila Fernandez and Coco Gauff, and that was just won by Coco Gauff 6-3, 6-1. And we're here now covering the Taylor Fritz, the world number 4, a ranking he achieved at the back end of last year when he got to the final of the ATP ATP finals in Turin. And it still feels weird to say that Taylor Fritz is the world number 4. He will, subject to any sort of mad runs, which I don't think are going to take place anyway, from like a 5th or 6th ranked player. He will be very much key to that. I am just going to make sure I can get the right thing up. Just give me a tick, ladies and gentlemen. Open that. Up to there. There we go. And then I should also just show. I'm just currently getting the little scorecard up for anyone who is tuning in. There we go. Flash scorecard, and I'll just make sure that's up live as we've had that, and then we'll go back to our introduction there. There we go. So now we've got the scorecard up, and that's all good and going. Yes. So we've got, of course, we've had this is the United Cup, which has now been running for, I believe this is now its 3rd iteration or the 3rd year of the United Cup. Was originally, remember the ATP Cup when it was just going to be concentrated on the men's game, but of course with the desire to actually offer a team competition for both the WTA and ATP, the United Cup was formed, and we were very much sort of gladder for it in terms of as we know, it's a new style of competition. This isn't a classic format of the this isn't a classic format when it comes to events. It's a competition that you have multiple matches. You're playing as a team. If you lose, you're not necessarily out, but your team needs to win the tie, and all those permutations, which then means that you have to start adding up numbers when it comes to wins here, sets collected, ties won. Potentially, if you're trying to work out who is going to finish in first and second, and it's also key to remember that not only do group winners go through to the knockout stages from the current stage that we're at the moment, but the best placed second team in each of the cities will also go into that quarterfinal stage. So, like we said, Team USA are currently already 1-0 in the lead, thanks to the what am I trying to say? Thanks to the win from Coco Gauff earlier on today. And because of that, it means that if Taylor Fritz can win his match here, he will at least give the USA or Team USA a tie on the board, which will have them tied with Canada. And USA will know that a win against Croatia, I believe either tomorrow or the day after, I believe it's the day after, will get them into the knockout stages. And it's also key to remember that Team USA have won this before with Taylor Fritz. That was 2 years ago. But that was, of course, when the format was over 2 days and it included 5 matches, not the 3 that they have chosen here. But I think we can generally say that the free system that they have at the moment is probably better in terms of we've not got so much dead time between matches, or we could have ties that are already decided, pretty much by the first match of the second day, and then we've got 2 matches that nobody really cares about. Whereas at the moment, all the matches really have that feel of they actually do matter towards the final result. And of course, the players from Fritz and Auger-Aliassime, I say from players like Fritz and Auger-Aliassime, and all the players on both the men's and the women's side in the singles matches, I believe also for the doubles, do collect ranking points as well for any wins that they are able to achieve. So we're getting a rally starting off between the two. We have Taylor Fritz, who is in the red shirt with black shorts. And then we've got Auger-Aliassime, who is in the red shirt with white shorts. It was just unfortunate, I think, that both players have decided to wear red on their tops. You kind of think that maybe there would be some home and away style draw to try and work out different team colours. But hey presto, that is unfortunate twang of tennis. As Fritz here is just returning very well. He's love 30 up on the Auger-Aliassime serve. Just still got a backhand, a forehand exchange. Fritz is just moving Auger-Aliassime around, but Auger-Aliassime with a brilliant forehand cross-court winner to make it 15-30. Hi, Sport and Politics. It's good to see you in the chat. If you've got any questions about United Cup or any thoughts or anything to do with this match, please do put it in the chat. That would be fantastic. I know it's somewhat early in the I say morning. It's just turned in the afternoon in the UK. But I say this is feels like the first proper cracker of a match between 2 high-ranked, certainly 2 top 30, with one in the top 5 players taking place. A few more should start popping along as well, I suspect, or at least I would guess. As I'm just keeping an eye on what, before I make a comment like, there's no way the matches, that there actually is matches somewhere. Yeah, so so it won't be team. Okay, so yeah, we could say that the next decent men's match, or say decent, will be, or at least match between 2 heavyweights will be when Casper Ruud takes on Hubie Hurkacz tomorrow. Because bizarrely, although we've got Team Canada on the screen at the moment, Fritz has just got to break up, 1-0 up already. So quick start for the American. He has no intention of messing around here. He'll want to get moving pretty ASAP. But I was just saying, in terms of, we've got to have a bizarre situation with this tournament where we've got Team Canada about to finish off their second match. Team Switzerland today finished off their second match as well. And they've already got both their group stage match sorted. And there are still nations and teams that still have not played who have still not played their first matches. Team United Kingdom is one of them, or Team Great Britain, depending on how it's written. Great Britain. Team Great Britain is one of those nations. They're playing tomorrow morning, and then in the same place in Sydney, Team Poland are yet to start off their campaign. So both those 2 teams will enter the fray. Of course, Team Great Britain will end the group stage competitions against Team Australia on Wednesday night. But it's bizarre that last year I remember Team Great Britain played both their matches by the Sunday, like they've already played both their group stage matches by the Sunday. And yet this year they're having to wait until Monday before they're even going to play their first match against Argentina. Fritz and FAH is doing a good backhand exchange. Forehand by Taylor, slice by FAA, forward by Taylor, up the line by FAA. Oh, perfect from FAA on that one there. Just put enough depth, and it stayed low enough that it caused Fritz too many problems to try and get it back over. So good bits of slicing here. Like we say, you would favour Taylor Fritz in their head-to-head. Taylor Fritz is currently 2-love in the lead. So has certainly had the making of FAA in recent times, as Fritz just hits a brilliant serve out wide just to give him an ace. And certainly being buoyed on by the fact of Coco Gauff getting the first match tie in the belt. I'm sure Fritz would love the idea of being able to finish off the tie now in this match here, and then they only have to go to the doubles to try and get an extra tie point on the board. But Team Canada will know that trying to win that doubles match, if this doesn't go according to plan for them, is also quite crucial, as a slice ball by FAA just goes slightly long. Will also be quite crucial because it will mean that that will give them a good chance of being that second placed runners-up team in the quarterfinals. And of course, just for the format, the competition in Perth will be finished by, well, certainly the group stages will be finished on Tuesday. So we'll know who are the 5 or the 3 group winners, and the best runners-up, best placed runner-up will be on Tuesday night, and then they will then play their quarterfinal matches on Wednesday, both the day and the night session, and then they will have a couple of days to be able to then travel to Sydney, which is where the competition will finish, or in terms of with the semi-finals and final, taking place on the Saturday and the Sunday. That being sort of key to note, and in Sydney they will be completing the group stages on the Wednesday night. I would say finishing with Great Britain versus Australia. Australia being the home, and then on the Thursday and the Friday nights, that will be when the quarterfinals will be played. Semi-finals will be played on semi-final will be played on the Saturday, and then also the final on the Sunday. Hey, Jake, it's good to see you in the chat. Like I said, if anyone's got any questions that they would like to ask about the United Cup that I may be able to sort of answer, or any opinions you want me to give about competitions or teams or matchups or anything to do with the United Cup or the swing in general, please do put them in the chat, as we currently have at the moment. As you can probably see on the board, Fritz is currently 2-love up, but Auger-Aliassime has just taken the first point with a brilliant serve that was unable to be properly returned by Taylor. And as well, if you could like the video, that'd be fantastic. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. That'd be utterly brilliant. We're pushing towards getting to the capacity of Court 1 at Wimbledon now. We're close to getting to 12,345, which I believe is the exact capacity number for Court 1 at Wimbledon. As Fritz has just been able to get into a rally there and won the next point. He really has been dominant in the rallies at the moment, Fritz. Really imposing himself. Which is not easy to do against FAA. But there are, but if you look at the ball strikes, the depth on the ball just seems to be locked in at the moment, and it has caused FAA some problems once we get past that third ball. Forehand by Fritz. That just goes slightly long though. That was a good serve though by FAA. It's it's like the one weapon that he has in his arsenal. Is that serve. Just quickly checking something out. Is that one that major weapon that FAA has in his arsenal is that serve, and it will get him a lot of 3 points as he goes up the line, perfectly placed there by FAA. So that gets it to 40-15. So a chance here for the Canadian to pick up his first game on the board. It was good to see as well that I believe this tie, as if some of you are watching live, you can probably see the stands for the Perth edition of the competition has been the most attended. As my computer is now stuttering. Hopefully it will click back in. I mean, you're not stuttering. You're probably seeing me completely fine. It's just my laptop. Go on my laptop. Let's work now. Let's work. Right, so that classic thing of, well, there's a break in play. But well, there's a break in play for me, it seems at the moment, as I can't get anything to load up. But silly laptop. If anyone can tell me what is happening in the stream, that'd be even brilliant on that one there, as I try and load something back up. There we go. Okay, so Fritz is 2-1 in the lead at the moment. I've reverted over to my iPad until such a time that my laptop decides to start playing ball. Okay, so Fritz, ball in the air, goes cross court, forehand by FAA, forehand by Fritz, forehand by FAA, up across by Fritz, down the line by FAA, just gets over there from FAA, goes for the up the line winner, but no luck there for Fritz. So 15, love 15 at the moment for FAA. Good cross court on the third ball there by Fritz, makes it 15 all. Makes it 15 all. So Fritz here just looking to hold serve, still early stages. Goes across court, clips off the net. So we are back to a second serve. Goes up the line, backhand by FAA, backhand by Fritz. Oh, good bit of direction on that ball there. Up the line, backhand by Fritz. Forehand up the line by Fritz, sorry. FAA just scrambles towards that and unable to get anything serious on that. So that is 30-15 to Taylor. Taylor ball in the air, goes cross court, backhand by FAA, forehand up the line by Fritz, forehand by FAA, cross court by Taylor, cross court by Fritz, up the line by Taylor, backhand by FAA, Felix, cross court exchange, an attempt to go down the line by Auger-Aliassime only goes into the net, so that makes it 40-15 to Fritz. Again, those exchanges are just becoming a little bit more. Those sort of like, rally ball exchanges, those shots after free, very much now becoming a little bit more 50, well, I say 50-50, or at least it seems that Auger-Aliassime is being more competitive in them. But at the moment, Taylor's just been the smarter guy at the moment when it comes to some of those rally shots, really with the aggression. I mean, that was a venomous forehand cross court. Again, Auger-Aliassime unable to deal with that whatsoever. So that means that Taylor Fritz at the moment has taken a 3-1 lead in this first set. Normal set rules for this match, so best of three sets. And so the winner has to win 2 sets, normal sets as well, because we just come off the back of the Next Gen Finals, which did have the Fast Four format, but this tournament does not have the Fast Four format. Just keeping an eye as well, because this is not the only tournament taking place today. Brisbane has kicked off as we have a double fault there by Felix. Just bangs it into the top of the net, just flies over. Attempts to go out wide there by FAA. Again, goes long. Potential chance here. Fritz will be sniffing an attempted opportunity to get to maybe get a double break in this set. Down line by Taylor, up the line by Fritz, forehand by FAA, backhand by Fritz, backhand by Fritz, forehand by Taylor. Sorry, I keep saying Taylor or Fritz. I have to choose one. It's very hard to not get the names mixed up. But that ball just hit the net there by Fritz on an attempted forehand up the line. So that makes it 15 all. So FAA just sticking in it at the moment, Felix. But again, at the moment, like I was saying, it just very much feels as though Taylor's the one who is in control a lot of the times, or at least is the main aggressor. He's the one who's mainly sticking the aggression onto FAA, and it seems at the moment FAA is struggling to be able to deal with that in any meaningful capacity. So down the line, backhand by Fritz, forehand backhand by FAA, up the line by Fritz, or just into the net, but that looked like it was long, and it was long originally from Taylor. So that then means it is currently 30-15 to FAA. So it just looks as though at the moment it is settled down just a tad on the FAA serve. He's just finding a few more patterns, at least getting a few more points. Goes down the tee, back forehand by Fritz, forehand by FAA, cross court by Fritz. Felix just does a brilliant drop shot, but it's got to it perfectly by Taylor. And then on an attempted lob there by Auger-Aliassime, it just goes along the baseline. And that makes it 30 all. So half chance here for Taylor. This service game certainly become a little bit more tricky. Goes across the court. Oh, was that just out? I think that was. Oh no, it was in. It was in. Fritz was frozen to the spot, but it was a brilliant serve out wide there by FAA. Brilliant serve out there by FAA. Like I say, any comments you want to make about the match or any questions you've got, please do put them in the chat. As Fritz was able to win that point there and take it to juice as we're on a juice game. Go down the line, backhand by FAA. Forehand, wonder by FAA there, sorry. Just give him advantage. It was a short return from Taylor. Fritz, it was a short return from Taylor. Felix was able to run onto that mid-court forehand and put it away at 158 kilometers an hour as it picks up on the TV graphic. I will say something. It does feel very much like almost Grand Slam levels of production value at the United Cup. They have a lot of graphics packages that they work on, or they have available. A lot of those packages we will see, or a lot of these sort of shots that we will see when the Australian Open kicks off 2 weeks today. Bizarrely enough, 2 weeks today when the Aussie Open will kick off. Of course, they now have the Sunday starts, and Auger-Aliassime holds to make it 3 games to 2. 3 games to 2. Just getting clapped by his team. I'm sure Taylor will be slightly frustrated that he wasn't able to get the break there, but no worries at all. I think his team will be thinking. But like I was saying, so this isn't the only tournaments that are taking place this week. Although we've had the United Cup running since Friday or Thursday. I think Thursday. When? Yeah, because Wednesday was Christmas Day. Thursday, it's Friday today. Sunday today. It's Friday 2 days ago. I'm just trying to make sure I work out what day it is really at the moment. Yeah. So even though this has been running since Friday, starting today, of course, was the Brisbane tournament for both the WTA on the 500 level and the ATP at the 250 level. Sabalenka, Badosa, Navarro on the women's side are playing there. They as top seeds, they get a bye to the second round. And on the men's side, of course, Djokovic, Tsitsipas is playing in the United Cup, but Djokovic, Dimitrov, Rune, Kyrgios, all those sorts of players are in action in Brisbane this week. Djokovic and Kyrgios are teaming up in the doubles tomorrow, but I think the big match, actually, or the most interesting match that I can see on the schedule for Brisbane tomorrow will be Rune versus Lehechka, which turned out to be a first-round match. Lehechka was only one place out from being seeded in Brisbane, and unfortunately, one of the top seeds in the form of Holger Rune has had to deal with the fact that he's playing somebody who, realistically, he should be playing more maybe in the quarterfinals or the semi-finals, not the actual final, not the first round of the competition. It's one of those rare 250 tournaments where the top seeds do not get a bye. Usually at a 250 tournament, we've just got somebody who's gone off.
Maybe one match, if memory serves, the early part of the season was really hampered because of that knee injury.
I think FAA is not feeling great.
Did you guys happen to pick up anything as far as movement during the points? Or
Hold on a minute, I'm listening in.
I mean, he moved well to get to that short forehand, didn't he? A good serve and then followed it up beautifully. But when he was talking to his coach, I wasn't sure if he was holding his hands around his hips when he was saying something.
Okay, so the trainer has been called out for Felix. We're suggesting it's something to do potentially with his hip area. This is not the time of the season in which you want to be picking up injuries or illnesses. There's that sharp pain. And he's asking the doctor if he can take some sort of medication. Okay, so it looks as though he's just about to start to get looked at. Previous inflammation. So the doctor is now fiddling around in his bag for something as Felix hits the deck. Yeah, so he's just laying on his front. And just around his hip area, the physio is just going to start to do some treatment as the rest of Team Canada looks on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Canada are receiving a medical timeout. To roll back with this sharp pain there, that can be a significant problem, certainly in the context of this match to start with.
So yeah, so he's currently getting some work done on his back. So like I was saying, so Brisbane kicking off this week, or today really. I think earlier on we had a couple of match results that came in. I mean, I will admit the Brisbane lineup today was pretty disappointing. I must admit, for a tournament that has a start date of Sunday for its first round matches, we got a hit and giggles doubles match. We got Ingis versus Joint on the Pat Rafter Arena. That was around the 16, because that was a qualifier versus a wild card. A doubles match between O'Connell and Thompson versus Lehechka and Mensik. And then we had Borskova against Gibson. That was today. That was won by Borskova. And at the moment, they've got David Goffin versus Alexander Vukic as the last match in Brisbane. And there's a few other round of 64 matches between Kruger, Anastavian, Blinkova. But just a lot of bitty matches all over the place is the best way to describe it. Very bitty matches, nothing of any real substance or substantial. And I'd be certainly disappointed if I was a ticket holder in Brisbane today, because I really would not feel as though I got my money's worth. But tomorrow, that's when we start to see proper good name players at least coming to the board save. We've got, granted, starting off with a Hon versus Burrell match on the Pat Rafter Arena. So that's an Aussie wildcard versus an Aussie qualifier. Then there's Jordan Thompson versus Matteo Berrettini, followed by Yannick Hafman versus Grigor Dimitrov. And Grigor Dimitrov is the defending champion of the event and the second seed, just like he was the second seed last year as well, I remember. And then there's a doubles match that, like I said, involves Djokovic and Kyrgios. And that's followed. The last match of the day is Ons Jabeur versus Zhe Shuai to finish up the proceedings there. And then using the show court one for Mickelson, O'Connell, Kudermetova, Stearns, Wang, other Kudermetova. There's both Kudermetova sisters are there today. And then Lehechka, Runa, and then Potapova, Bogdan. And there's Tabilo Bonzi's on show court 2, Carolina Wang, Todi Buska, Jan Roos, Rindanesh Nishioka, he's on court 10, and Novoni Jari is as well. So getting to start to get through a few of the matches tomorrow in Brisbane. Hong Kong, that kicks off as well. Some big names there, as the likes of Rublev, Kachanov, Musetti, Norrie, my guy Norrie, and he is playing tomorrow. Norrie, and Navanch's guy, Brandon Nakashima, he is playing tomorrow as well. But like I say, so centre court in Hong Kong tomorrow will have Luciana Darderi, the 8th seed, versus Miomir Kecmanovic. That is followed by Lorenzo Sonego versus Brandon Nakashima. And then, as I say, 11 o'clock UK time, that's going to be Cameron Norrie versus Lerner Tien. Lerner Tien, of course, is the big up-and-coming American star. Got to the finals of the Next Gen finals of last week. So be interesting to see how he can do now on the main tour. And then that's followed by a doubles match that has Kachanov and Rublev versus Nam and Wong. And then they've got some qualifying round matches to do on court 1, and a bit of Saifullah and Marozsan being around the 64 match. And like I say, other doubles matches taking place on other courts as well. All those players tried to get some work in. And then Auckland is taking place tomorrow as well, with a big headline act being what's her face? Naomi Osaka. That's it. Naomi Osaka against Gostov. But they've got Clara Towson, Lulu Sun, Lee and Sloane Stevens, Vonnie Nets. They're all playing tomorrow. They're actually getting through a good number of matches tomorrow on Auckland. I'm pretty impressed. And Emirati Kanu is also in that group, along with Madison Keys, who will be playing probably on Tuesday for their first round matches. Good to see Dave in the chat. It's fantastic to see. As we're currently at 15 all, impatiently waiting for my coffee at the moment. Are you waiting for your coffee in terms of you've got a coffee machine, or are you in a coffee shop listening to us as you're as you're waiting for that coffee? I'm quite curious to know. 15 all at the moment. So let's see how much that injury or that potential injury to FAA will affect him. I'm sure if you're an FAA fan, you'd hope that he's not going to affect him that much. Goes cross court, forehand by FAA into the net, and that makes it 30-15 to Fritz. Fritz here looking just to hold on. I say hold on. He just wants to keep holding his serve, because he knows if he keeps holding his serve, he will take the first set and really put himself and Team USA in a strong position to potentially win the tie and then go into that Croatia match, which is the big one tomorrow. Oh, the day after, sorry, on Tuesday. Oh, that was a poor forehand by FAA. It hit the... There was a reason for that because his original ball was out. So that is 40-15 to Fritz. Looking good at the moment. Looking good to hold serve. Goes across court. Forehand by FAA. Out it goes. And that makes it... Oh, no, it wasn't out. It was actually in. That was a perfect, brilliant forehand. I thought it was out. I'll take the L on that one there. You're saying coffee machine at home. Grind my own beans and take it. Okay. I have been on a French roast kick lately. Oh, okay. So you're making your own coffee. Very, very sophisticated in a way there. As Fritz though hits the net, and this service game's now just got a little bit more interesting. 40-40 at the moment. Ball in the air, goes cross court, forehand by Fritz. Forehand by Fritz again, forehand by FAA. Backhand cross court, all slice. Back behind, slice by FAA. Slice by Fritz, slice by FAA. Oh, but the slice is into the net. No luck there, no luck there. So Fritz, 3-2 in the lead. Yeah, he's just getting the ball ready. Ball in the air. Goes to go down the tee. Just hits it into the net. Goes cross court. Backhand by Fritz. Backhand by FAA. Backhand by Fritz. The ball just out there by Fritz. FAA really seems as though this medical timeout that FAA has taken has helped him more than it's helped Fritz. Super Dave saying, did I see a medical timeout already for FAA? Yes, there was. He was getting some treatment on his back. He said something about sudden sharp pains. I was asked if he could take any pills to try and fix it, but he seems to be playing. I mean, I'm not seeing anything in his actual game. That was dangerous there by Taylor. Mid-court forehand runs to the net and then goes straight back to FAA, who's unable to get any control on his shot. But if you've got some degree of control, he would have hit a winner. So Fritz here, advantage. Ball in the air, goes down the tee, forehand up the line by FAA, forehand by Fritz, forehand by FAA, backhand by Fritz, backhand by FAA, just about gets over. Slice by FAA, forehand by Fritz, up the line by FAA, just cross-court backhand at the moment, and a backhand into the middle of the tram line by FAA, and that makes it 4-2. 4-2 to Fritz. Bit of a tricky game, bit of a sticky game there, really, for Fritz to deal with, but he comes through it. He'll be pretty pleased with that one. Yeah, certainly, he'll feel pretty pleased with that one just there. So 4-2, looking. Okay, other line there by FAA, perfectly placed there by FAA, makes it 15-0. That's 15-love. That was we're on the FAA serve at the moment. Cross court backhand by Fritz. FAA comes to the net and smashes it away. No problems there whatsoever. See if I can get my laptop working as well at a point, as it isn't at the moment. And it's a bigger screen. It's nicer to be able to watch something on a bigger screen. Where possible, eh? Attempt to go cross court there by Fritz. No luck. Matter of fact, I open my laptop and it says, "Oh, get PC Game Pass," and I'm like, I've already got the Game Pass Ultimate. I don't need PC Game Pass because Game Pass Ultimate has it all. There's just my small gripe, for whatever reason. Dave, you're saying, James, are your expectations high for Felix this year? After last season, I definitely have higher expectations on for Fritz as I thought he would. That's a very good question. What am I? So, like you say, is any of you were able to? Any of you who watched the predictions video that I did with Vanch and Damien a week or two ago, do go find it in the archives on the videos if you haven't done so already. I pretty much for Fritz, my expectation is that he will stay in the top 5. I've even got him staying at number 4. I think my expectations for him will be more now based on the tournaments that he can maybe try and win, because it was an absolutely brilliant performance that Fritz had last year, where with the results he had last year in terms of the consistency in the bigger tournaments, getting to the final of the US Open was fantastic. But then there was also, getting to the final of the tournament last year, as of course my laptop decides to die. I don't get it. No internet connection, but I actually have an internet connection. I will go back to that as I've been sort of sidetracked. At the moment, Fritz was able to hold on, or FA was able to hold on with that point there. So, yeah, like I said, the main thing for Fritz is going to be, can he go on and win bigger tournaments than what he did? So, yeah, like we say, he was consistent in the big events in terms of getting deep in them. I think as was seen with the final run at the US Open, getting to the final of the ATP finals. And a few other bigger tournaments throughout the year, he was able to have good deep runs in, but he wasn't able to win any big tournaments. And we know that he has the ability to win maybe a Masters, certainly 500 levels. He's won Tokyo in the past, the big one, of course, that he won in 22 when he beat Rafa in the in the final in Indian Wells. For me, would need to start to see Fritz potentially trying to win maybe a Masters Series event, because there's enough of them in terms of, sometimes it's very hard to think, it's just going to be a rut for, the two players that we know in Sinner and Alcaraz, and maybe Zverev will pick up a few of them as well. But, we saw Poprin win one last year. We saw Rublev win one last year. Tsitsipas won one. There are certainly tournaments out there that you could look at and go, I think he should win a Masters. That's what I'm going to say. Is I think he should win a Masters title next year. If I don't have him on Grand Slam winning watch, but mainly because he still struggles against Alcaraz and Sinner. He loses to them, and as we saw certainly in the case of Sinner, they're generally quite comfortable wins for Sinner in those matches. Now, if we can suddenly get situations where he's in the final in Indian Wells and he's beating Alcaraz, or he's in the final in Miami and he's beaten Sinner, then we can suddenly change our viewpoints and go, well, hang on a minute, you actually have a game where we would expect you to potentially win, have the potential to win a Grand Slam. I mean, it was great, the Grand Slam final he was able to get to at the US Open, but we've got to remember that Djokovic dropped out of that event pretty quickly, who is somebody who has Fritz's number quite badly. And he was able to play at one of the top 4 seeds in which he can beat, which is in the form of Zverev. That seems to be the person he has a really good matchup with, really. Is the best way to describe it. And I think if he could he's going to have his own quarter. There's a potential that, certainly when you look at the Australian Open and what potentially could happen, because you've got to remember, so Sinner will be the top seed, Zverev will be the second seed, Alcaraz the third, Fritz the fourth. Fritz could be in a situation where he could be drawn in the same half of the draw as Zverev, somebody who he's beaten the last 4 times in big tournaments, at Wimbledon, at the US Open, at the ATP finals. you look at that and you go, okay, so he could get to a final. But then if he does get to that final, it's if he is facing Sinner or Alcaraz at the other side of the net, will he bring a level that will at least start winning sets against them? And that's where the big questions come. And if he wants to become a Grand Slam winner, he's going to have to find a way of beating them. So that's for me for Fritz, that I'd expect him to stay in the top 5. That's why I said I know it's a big ask. Certainly, 4 in the world is such a huge achievement to be able to get to, especially given a bit about anyone in the chat watch Sports Go for Brisbane. Needs to know what Gibson's medical timeout was for in the second set. I didn't, but if anyone did, please do help Jake out in the chat. Back to your sort of original question about FAA. As I know, I kind of went on to Fritz there. I don't really have any expectations of anything good for FAA this season. I think we're in a situation where we need to start seeing improvements in his game. Certainly when it comes to consistency of serves, when it comes to his ability to break people. Yes, his forehand is brilliant, but his backhand can break down at times, and he can be rushed quite a fair bit. He can be a little bit too defensive at times. It's one of those big questions. And it'll feel like a very big question in the Felix Stowe was dropped off the cliff. He certainly hasn't recovered. I think we remember that 23 season where he ended up, because in that 23 season where he ended up losing every single first match possible, which was just a bizarre thing to watch. Is he still with Uncle Tony? Did they split up? I don't believe he's with Uncle Tony anymore. I think that partnership has now gone astray. Did anyone see Dan Evans? I wish I did actually, but he was on in the middle of the morning. But he did manage to come through his first qualifying round match in Canberra. He will be, interestingly enough, I suspect Dan Evans will be a real dangerous floater in the qualifying draw. And if you're a British viewer, make sure that you dust off your Discovery Plus subscription. Make sure that you can log on to the account, because you'll need to be using that from Monday next week. But it's certainly when it comes to Dan, I see him being a dangerous floater in the qualifying draw, because realistically, with his level, he could beat anyone in that qualifying draw. I mean, barring maybe a Fonseca, I think he certainly could be. Actually saying, did he not get into the challenge? He got into the qualifying for the Challenger in Canberra. He didn't get into the main draw. The main draw for that Canberra Challenger, because it's such a convenient location and it's a Challenger 125, it meant that the cutoff for that tournament, if I just get that up, was, and I'm not kidding, it was 145 in the world was the cutoff for the Canberra Challenger. It is stacked, really stacked. You got names that you say Gaston, Daniel, Diaz Acosta, Fernley, Nagal, Bellucci, Eubanks, Mayotte, Galland, Van Ash, Koprica, McDonald, Kim, like I say, Fonseca, Lauderdale. So many good players in there. That Dan Evans was the fourth seed in qualifying. And because Canberra is so close to Melbourne, it's a really what's the word I'm trying to find, convenient challenger to go for any of those players that won't be able to get into the main draw for either the United Cup, Brisbane, or Hong Kong this week. Who's in the Norrie W? Norrie's playing in Hong Kong, and he's going to be playing Lerner Tien tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock on that one there. Dan Davis said Discovery Plus will be the home of Aussie Open tennis as well. Yeah, it will be, I'm just saying, in terms of dusting it up for next week for the qualifying draw, qualifying for Australia, and then also the main event. And they're saying, oh, right, he's had to play qualifying. That's crazy. It certainly is crazy that he had to play qualifying. His ranking has fallen that badly that much. is that Kudler in the Canada box? Maybe just looks like him. He's in the US box, but because they're wearing the exact same shirt, it's really hard to tell who's who. As it's currently 5-4 Fritz, by the way, 15-all at the moment on the Fritz serve as he's looking to take the first set. Actually saying I saw Hong Kong today, Hugo Grenier won, and the draws are mad. They certainly are this time of the year. You have 250 draws, which somehow can also look like 500 draws because players are so desperate to try and get matches in. Like Brisbane, for example. If you looked at that draw sheet, you'd look at it and go, that looks like it could be the draw sheet for a ATP 500 event, not a 250. Who would you like to test positive next? I wouldn't like anyone to test positive next. I want a clean sport, Sean. And also, technically, Max Purcell didn't test positive. He ended up overtaking on himself. Well, actually, no, kind of tested. He will end up testing positive for an overdose of re-injecting blood back into his body. Superdose saying, Nick Kyrgios, please. Sup, Sean. Sup, Ashley. That would be quite ironic if it was Nick Kyrgios that got done for doping, but I don't think he will. Who's the top seed in Hong Kong? Ashley is asking. So just to read out some of the top seeds for that tournament. So in Hong Kong, the top seed is Andrei Rublev. The second seed is Lorenzo Musetti. Then it's Karen Kachanov, Artur Fils, Nuno Borges, Brandon Nakashima, Pedro Martinez, and then Luciano Darderi make up the top 8 seeds in Hong Kong. Other things to keep a note of are ones like Cameron Norrie, Zhuzheng Zhang, Sonego, Kecmanovic, Shapovalov, Kobayas Baena, Marozsan Safulin, Dadovic Fokina, Yao Munar, Bu, Muller, and you've got some wild cards such as Zizou Bergs, Kei Nishikori, Leonard Tien gets in with his youth top 10 ranking, and then Coleman Wong. But what's quite funny is Coleman Wong, the Hong Kong player, is going to be playing the Chinese players using Jerry Shang in the first round. Taylor has won the first set. He's been pretty pleased with that one. I think he'll like to start to try and make a bit more progress now on the FAA serve, just to get his just to get that out, get that done. What I'm going to do is I will answer your questions. I do need to quickly nip off for a bit. So whilst we have a break in play, let me find the break in play. Let me find the breaking thing, and I will come back and I will certainly answer your questions. Where has it gone? Where has it gone?
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Everyone, sorry about that. I just need to get to the need a quick loo break. But the players during the set, it's currently 15-love to Auger-Aliassime. So some questions that also flew. Was what did I get for Christmas? I got a good jumper. I got a Tolkien book that I haven't read yet, and I think a few. Of course, the selection box, waistcoat, which is quite cool, and those bits there. Do put what you ended up getting as well. That'd be fantastic. And then questions about when is Nick playing. I think I mean Nick Kyrgios. He's playing doubles tomorrow, and I suspect he'll play his first singles match on Tuesday. Will be when that will happen. I suspect that'll be a night. I suspect they'll try and stick him and be him and Djokovic. They'll be looking to get in a night session of some description tomorrow. It's pretty stacked in Brisbane actually of how they're going to do the men's side of the draw. Nick is of course also. He's playing Giovanni Mapesci Pericard. So imagine it to be quite a serve-heavy match if they could end up doing 3 tie-break sets in under 2 hours, given how badly both of those two players can return. So certainly watch out for that one. Brisbane, does that sound right? Yeah, that's right there. Dan, you got biscuits and savoury snacks. So you got a very foodie-based Christmas on that one there. Did you read the GOT books, James? I enjoyed them, but I don't know if I'll ever see the last 2 books. I read the first 2. I read certainly the Game of Thrones and the Storm of Swords were the 2 books I've definitely read. I was halfway through the next book, which I think was I think it's a Clash of Kings is the second book, and then it's a Storm of Swords is the third book. And then there's like the Dance of Dragons, which is the one after that. Part 1, it's like part 1 and part 2 of Dance of Dragons, if I remember correctly. But I don't think we're going to see. I think was it the Winds of Winter and the Horn or whatever. Or I don't. Yeah, it's looking unlikely that we're ever going to see those 2 books, given how long George R. Martin is taking to write the whole things. James, see if Talking Dance can get Tim Hemming on as a guest. We'll try. We certainly will try. It'd be pretty neat to get Tim on. I certainly have a few questions that I'd like to ask Tim about his career, about the current state of tennis. But granted, he does. Yeah, we'll see what we can do there. And he's very busy. He's a very busy man. He's on pretty much every UK broadcaster. He's on the BBC for Wimbledon. He's on Sky for the US Open and the rest of the ATP and WTA main tour big events. He's on Discovery Plus when it comes to or Disney or Eurosport for the Australian Open and the French Open. I don't really think there's a competition he's not on, or a network he's not on to cover the tennis, which is quite funny. As Fritz there just does a brilliant bit of play there to make it 40 all to currently juice at the moment on the FAA serve. I think he's looking to get an early break here. Fritz doesn't want to be faffing around too much on the FAA serve. Should name one of them with a book and never happening. Dan, you're saying I went to school in Oxfordshire, so not far from where Tim grew up. Oh, wicked. So that's what you claim to frame as living near Tim. My claim to frame, at least from a British tennis perspective, is that I ended up knocking on the door once of Emily Appleton's house, who's without really knowing about it. I thought it was quite funny. So let's see what's on. See if anything's popped up on social media. So I met Sue Barker at a book signing calling the shots at Warwick University a few years ago. There we go. There's your claim to frame. Over in Brisbane, Vukic has taken the first set against Goffin, and he is currently 3-2 up, but they're on serve at the moment in that match there. Auger-Aliassime was able to hold serve though there, so he is 1 love up. He just seems certainly more solid on his service game. Certainly seems solid on his serve, so it looks positive for him to certainly stay a factor in this one here. Are you going to tennis tournaments, James, or anyone in the chat? That's a good question. So I am going to. There's two that I've got tickets for and booked for this year. So I've got Montpellier, which I'm going to at the beginning of February. It's got a unique court, so it's on my hit list. There's somewhere that I wanted to at least go once. I know the field's not going to be spectacular, but that pink court with the blue bit in the middle. It's just a very unique court that I want to go watch some live tennis at, and it means I can tick off that tournament on the sort of French tournaments list that I've got going. And then I have Wimbledon ticked on or my tickets bought for Wimbledon for court 1 on the first Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I was lucky enough to win to get selected in the LTA ballot first round to be able to go and buy tickets for that. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But I'm hoping to go to Eastbourne as well. That's on my wish list. And then if depending on the ticket prices, because the men's ticket prices for Queens next year were extortionate, I'm hoping the women's event that's taking place for the first time there next year will be much cheaper. If they are cheap enough, I will look to go to Queens for the women's event that'll take place on the grass as well. And then maybe try and do something late in the autumn to go to one of the indoor events in Europe somewhere. Usually on my hit list. I want to go back. My main thing is that I really want to go back to Monte Carlo at some point soon. So I really did enjoy that tournament when I went to it. Jake, you're going to Tenerife. Nice one. That's what I was guessing for that. For the Challenger there. I went to that one when it was a WTA 250 event for that 1 year, and it was an excellent place to go. So you're mixing a sun-soaking holiday with tennis. And then you got Glasgow. Nice one on the Challenger there. Mercia Challengers are the only ones confirmed for me. Will add more money permitting. Good. Some good lists there. I mean, Glasgow's not too far, and I know Nottingham's got a Challenger next week for Nottingham, if my memory is correct. So that's a big one there. Super Dave, you are going to the only one I have is the ATX Open here in Austin, WTA 250, but will be there. Want to try and go to Dallas tournament as well if possible. I'm about to say, Dave, I mean, given the fact that the Dallas tournament's been upgraded to a 500, you certainly would want to, and it's in a new venue as well. I've seen as well, which can have a much bigger capacity. I'm interested to see how that ends up looking, really, or how that ends up, sort of playing out. I think they're changing the court colours as well. At least that was what was on the promo shots, but they could keep the same court colours. But yeah, that's going to a bigger venue on the 500 event in Dallas. I know that I think it's Casper Ruud is confirmed for it, along with Taylor Fritz for that tournament. But yeah, as I say, but it's good to see that here that you're going to the Austin tournament that takes place the week before Indian Wells. That always seems to get some good crowds in and some good players for that 250. And then Dan, you're asking, did you go to the Olympics, James, or chat? Did any of you watch it on TV? I didn't go to the Olympics, unfortunately, but I certainly watched a lot of it on TV. It was really, really cool to see certainly a lot of areas of Paris that I've been to before sort of pop up on the screen and whatnot and go, oh yeah, this happened here and this, and then they're doing this there. I mean, it's funny watching the Bercy Arena, for example, and going, oh, that's where like I've been for the Masters event, and I went back there in November as well. I know October. I went back in October of this year as well to the Bercy Arena, and it just feels weird to think that was where some of the Olympic events took place. On the screen at the moment, it's currently 1 game apiece. Goes cross court, backhand by Fritz, forehand by FAA, just perfectly put away. So that makes it 30 love to FAA. He's just like I say, he's just looking solid at the moment. No problems for him as it currently stands. Backhand just slightly long there. we go. I get the screen back. Dan's saying I went to all the other things, so definitely watched the Olympics. Alcaraz and Nadal, Djokovic had to watch the Jack draw. And then Dan's saying I went to Paris with college before France changed to euro currency. Went to Notre Dame Cathedral, Eiffel Tower, and Disneyland. I went all over the big playing places there, down by the sounds of it. Yeah, that must have been some 20 odd years back before it went to the euro. That was a big thing. That big thing when that happened. So currently 2-1 to FAA on serve, holding serve at the moment. Leila Fernandez is back on the team bench, just getting warmed up. She's originally down for the doubles. Along with FA, I think her and FAA are the ones that are mainly down for the doubles or for the mixed doubles to try and at least see if they could win that match, at least put them in contention for the second place match it would end up being. I had to make a trip to, I got some because next year, on 4 years' time, or 3.5 years' time, as it will be now, the Olympics will of course be taking place in Los Angeles, LA. I did think that their little that sort of handover clips and little promo bits they did were blooming brilliant for LA. It's really creates a sense of buzz for the event for the Olympics when it ends up going there. Don't know how I'm going to be able to watch it with my sleep schedules, but we'll run with it. This is like towers behind me, so like a lot of the events are going to take place in the evening into like all the mornings in the UK, so it's going to be a nightmare to keep a track of. So they're just with the ball there. Backhand by Fritz, backhand by FAA, backhand by Fritz. So yeah, just sort of getting back into this game really here. As we have this sort of stability, it feels like in the game scoring. That realistically the only break that we've had is the one that Fritz achieved at the first game of the first set on the FAA serve. So certainly even. It feels certainly even between both of them now. Let's get a brilliant backhand exchange, like multiple rallies on that one there. So good bit of work there by Fritz. So that makes it 15-all, or 15-love, sorry. They said I have embraced the white socks and shoes on the tennis court with all the cool kids. How do you all feel about shot socks and shoes matching, or white socks and black? I'm guessing you're going for a look, or it looks pretty neat. You would do that. I don't really have an opinion either way, but I'm sure people in the chat will have an opinion on that one. If it, I'm not a fan. I will say I'm not a fan of black shoes on a tennis court, just because to me, black shoes are like working shoes, as though like you're about to do like an office job or go work down the mine or something like that. So whenever I watch tennis players, I do think white trainers, maybe even actually white socks, does look is the better look. They just look lighter. It looks as though your feet will move quicker if they've got white shoes on, not black shoes, which look very sluggish. And Dan asking James, what do you think about Sergio Perez being sacked by Red Bull? He probably asked that because of the Red Bull top. I'm actually a Lewis Hamilton fan. It's just this top was on the sale, and I will admit the Red Bull tops do look good. I will give them the credit for that one there. But it was certainly expected. I would certainly say, Dan, the performances, the results, the positions that he was getting in both qualifying and in the race were just dreadful. He was constantly getting involved in scraps in the midfield, damaging the car. I understand why he had to leave, but I think there is a greater problem, and I'm not to turn this into talking F1, But there is a greater problem, I think, with the Red Bull team, which is that car is so built around what Max Verstappen wants, and how he wants it all set up and whatnot. That it means that that racing drivers who may want a different way of being able to do it, as I see a brilliant forehand running winner there by FAA, just scoops it into the gap that was left available to make it 30 all. Like I was saying, so I see why he went. I don't think Liam Lawson will do any better, because I don't think that car is built for anyone else but Max Verstappen. And that's going to be a real problem for Red Bull, that if they don't change the motto of actually not having a car that's only built for one driver, then they're not going to win the World Championship on the constructors' side for certainly for a while. I mean, the only driver that ever really competed with Max on that Red Bull car was Daniel Ricciardo, and that was because it was shit. That was when the team was equal. Also, I only wear white shorts during the Wimbledon tournament. They get dirty way too easily, but I would play in all whites to celebrate them. Oh, that's good, Dave. Yeah, it's always nice to wear all whites during the Wimbledon event. Dan's saying Mercedes are based around 10 miles away from my home, and I am a Hamilton fan as well as Lando Norris. Oh, wicked! You must be near Bracknell, which is where the which is where the Mercedes build their cars. I'm very close to. I live in Guildford, so I live not too far from the Woking McLaren Centre, where they build the F1 cars there. So it's going to be interesting next year going into when Lewis is at Ferrari. It feels like an uneasy relationship, an uneasy alliance. Well, having to support the Ferraris, which I never thought I'd ever have to do. But it's very much will be a situation of that alliance will go away once Hamilton is no longer a Ferrari driver. But whilst he's a Ferrari driver, I will support the team. That's the contract that was almost going to be signed there. Dave saying, I always wore black Adidas copper neutrals as a junior player in football, soccer. Black tennis shoes kind of remind me of my football days. I bet they do, actually. Yeah, certainly you're running around in black football boots. Oh, forehand cross court by Fritz. Perfectly, by the way, that was badly timed by Auger-Aliassime. He just went straight back to Fritz and left I didn't even go to the open part of the court. But Fritz was able to go cross court to the open part of the court and to make it love 15. Will he be looking here to get the first break? Super Dave saying, have you ever been to the US Open in New York? Oh, that's too Super Dave. I'll let Super Dave answer that question. I haven't. I wish I have yet. I wish I will, though. On a hit list. Cross court, backhand by Fritz. Forehand by FAA. Forehand by Fritz. Backhand by FAA. Backhand by Fritz. Backhand by FAA. Backhand by Fritz. Forehand by FAA. Backhand by Fritz. Bit of a certainly rally there, a little bit more angle put on there by Fritz. Up the line. Down the line by Fritz. Cross court by FAA. Cross court by Fritz. Perfectly placed. Cross court by Fritz. What a wonder strike of a ball there. Makes it love 30. So, are we 2 points away from Fritz getting the break he needs in this set? And you would say, given how strong Fritz has been on his service games, that could be enough to get the job done. So FAA tries to go cross court into the net. Second serve here. Fournier goes cross court. Forehand by Fritz. Just about gets in. Just about picked up by FAA. Cross court there by Fritz. And it's long from FAA. It was a brilliant backhand, really low to the ground by Fritz. And Auger-Aliassime unable to get any real purchase onto that one and just flies it long. 3 break point chances here for the American. 3 break point chances. Goes down the line. Forehand by Fritz. Oh no, it was a let call there. Okay, ball up, goes down the tee. Perfectly placed by Auger-Aliassime down the tee. Saves the first of the 3 break points. Saves the first of the 3 break points. Ball in the air, goes across court, forehand by Fritz. Got other line by FAA, backhand by Fritz, other line by FAA. Goes for the lob, smash down. Oh, nearly got to by Fritz. Nearly got to. It was a smash cross court by Auger-Aliassime. Fritz read it, but just couldn't get to it. For Super saying, well, Fritz looks good. He's starting where he's left last year. Confidence is looking high. It certainly is. He's embracing the fact of his ranking. He's embracing the fact of the expectations placed against him. There just isn't any real questions now, realistically, against what Fritz can do, or at least what he's able to do. The line there, forehand by Fritz, forehand by FA, backhand by Fritz down the line, and it lands perfectly down the line. He gets the break. He was being pushed from pillar to post in that service game for Auger-Aliassime, but he comes through with flying colours, and he is now 3 games away from wrapping up this tie, at least who's going to win this tie between the United States and Canada, the North American Derby, as I've nicknamed it. I mean, he was inside the court for it, Felix. But a brilliant backhand read down the line, and just that, as Super Day is saying there. Wow, what a backhand! What a backhand to go there. Sort of screams in celebration. Oh, duh, that's Cutler in the US box, not Canada. Yeah, it is the red shirts. I do not know why they could not have agreed one team to wear blue and one. Well, certainly maybe have red for the Canadian team and maybe blue or white for the US team would have made it a little bit easier to understand who's wearing what shirt. It's got a bit of a problem with approaches there. Now, if you haven't already, please do like the video if you haven't done so already. Or something like this live stream, and subscribe if you haven't already. Imagine, we've got the start of the season here. Just a brilliant serve there by Fritz. Goes up the line. Oh, brilliant outside in forehand. Forehand there by Fritz. Inside out forehand there by Fritz. Makes it last serve, 111. Looking here to get a quick hold on the board. Get that daylight between him and FAA up the line there. Oh, just an attempt to go cross court there by Fritz, or FAA on the stretch volley, or on the stretch forehand, but only hits the net. So 30 love to Taylor. Goes cross court, forehand by Fritz, forehand by FAA. Forehand by FAA, forehand line by Fritz, backhand by forehand, backhand, cross court, slice by Felix, or an attempt to go up the line there, but just too much on it there from Fritz. Makes it 30-15. Love the side split. It's a good side split. Certainly is there, Stupid Dave. Okay, Fritz tries to go across court. Hits the net. It's a second serve. Just looking at second serve here. Across court. Backhand by FAA. Backhand by Fritz. Backhand by FAA. Oh, just long there by Fritz on that backhand. And now we went from a period where it looked as though it was going to be a comfortable hold to now being 30 all. 30 all. See what they're saying? It's a good idea drawing Fritz in. He doesn't love me. He's not great at the net, Fritz. He certainly isn't. It's something he's going to have to work on. Goes cross court. Forehand by Fritz. Oh, it just about lands in from Felix there. Cross court exchanges. Felix looks really keen on this one here. We've got backhand. Oh, but he shanks that backhand. Oh, he shanks that backhand bad. And any potential problems maybe in the service game could have gone there. That could have been the chance. Goes up the line. That ball goes out, and it's a hold for Taylor. He has not faced, and I may be wrong with this quote, but I'm going to go for it anyway. He has not faced a break point or seen a break point on his serve during this match so far. He has held all his service games. He has the set. He has the break. 2 more games on the board. We'll see the American clinch the tie for Team USA. Potentially as well. And this is the question also for you in the chat, whilst we still have the game going, as long as if that's on the assumption that Taylor holds his 2 service games, or doesn't break it quite quickly. Is Team USA the favourites for the title? Just looking at the squad depth. Or do you potentially think maybe Team Poland could be favourites? You could also potentially look at Team Germany. They are the ones who won the event last year. Maybe a slightly weaker women's option, but a really strong men's option, which they had last year, which they have this year as well. But some good doubles players to make up for in the mixed doubles match. Looking at it, who do you think is going to win the United Cup this year? Team Italy are also a name you could potentially put in the ring of countries that may want to that have a serious look at winning the title. See what they're saying. Those are the balls I used. Those are the balls I use. Those AO balls, best quality. They are very good quality. The AO balls. I've had a play with them once. They are very well put together. And Dunlop are used a lot in the main tour as well. So a lot of main tour tournaments use Dunlop balls. You probably guess I would usually say it's a correct case of the United Kingdom for the United Cup, but since we don't have Jack Draper in this team, I think any competitive edge we have will probably disappear because we just won't have a strong enough men's option. I think Katie Bolter will do very well against the women. I only really see a couple of women, or probably 3 women's players on who could beat Katie. I think the rest of them, Katie has a good chance to either be the favourite or at least be 50-50 competitive in. Smashed by Felix. Oh, was that long? That looked long. It was long. Bit overzealous there by Felix at the net. So that makes it 15-30 at the moment. 15-30. Felix here, or Fritz, potentially looking to get a double break. Get that insurance break. I think this will also help Fritz and Coco. They'll be able to take a back seat in the mixed doubles if Fritz can get this done here. Up in the air, all down. Oh, he just about survives that. Fritz not actually getting injured, but his attempted lob just long, just a few centimeters long of where it needs to be. Beautiful cross-court sliding winner there by Auger-Aliassime. Makes it 40-30. Looks as though he will probably hold serve here. Goes cross court again. Excellent serve there from Felix. Just holds the serve there, holds the game. And at least he's trying to keep himself in it, but he does need to get that break. That is key. He does need to get that break. If he doesn't break, and if Felix can hold on to his next two service games, if Taylor can hold on to his next two service games, he will win it. Just to also go through, if anyone isn't aware of some of the results that have taken place or his day, there was a lot of matches today. So Czech Republic started their campaign this morning. Mukova beating Helgog. Then Mahach was able to, Ruud was able to beat Mahach in 3 sets. Before Mukova and Mahach beat Ariki and Dolozvic in straight sets to give the Czech Republic the tie there, 2-1. Over in Sydney as well, Kaboli took one against Stricker. Paolini then beat Bentic, and Irani and Vavasori beat Bentic and Stricker to allow Italy to win 3-0. So big commanding victory there for Italy, especially given the fact that, you know, if they're unable to get the win against France, a 3-0 victory could be enough to help them get the a 3-0 victory could be enough to get them as their second best placed team. But of course, if Italy are able to beat France, then it may change things up there. In Perth, Germany beat Brazil 3-0 with Siegmund beating Haddad Maya, Serra beating Monterio, and Sigmund and Puitz beating Alves and Matos. This means that Brazil are out. They are gone. They lost both their matches 3-0. And it means that the match between Germany and China will decide who will win Group E. And I suspect if the team that loses that match at least is able to win one of those matches in that tie, they will have enough match wins to give them that second best placed team in Perth to at least go through. So I suspect we're probably going to see Germany and China as it currently stands. I suspect we're going to see them in that next in the quarterfinals. And as you can see here, we've got USA and Canada playing at the moment. Fritz at the moment is currently 15 love up. Make that 30 love up. Brilliant ace there. Oh, just slides off the net there. So got a second serve. Oh. Goes up down the line. Backhand by Fritz. Backhand by FAA. Forehand by Fritz. Forehand cross-court winner there by FAA. Just sat up invitingly for the Canadian. So they're saying the US, China, and Great Britain have strong teams. I do like Draper a lot, so maybe some bias there. Yeah, unfortunately, Draper's not in the team now. He had to pull out last week. So we have Billy Harris in instead in the men's position. He's Jack picked up a small niggle to do with his hip during pre-season, but is expected to still play the Australian Open. It just looks as though he won't have any build-up tournaments going into the event. But it's good to hear that you like Draper. Trying to build the sort of Draper hype in the Draper fan club where possible. Just getting tricky here. That was a good return there by Auger-Aliassime. Felix currently 40-30 now up, not necessarily 40. Do they say, no, well, that does change my opinion. Best to be fit for the AO. Yeah, that is the most important thing, is to be fit for the AO. I always get concerned with Jack and I hear about injuries, but my hope is that he will at least get back to his good state. He will be seeded. Of course he will. He's the 15th best player in the world. He's the 15th player in the world. But my hope is that he will remain a top 16 seed. Now, of course, there are points that people could gain and drop off this week. And it's also key to note for anyone watching, the seedings for the Australian Open will be taken from the end of this week. So once the United Cup, Brisbane, Hong Kong, Auckland, all those tournaments have been completed, the points will get added to the people's rankings. That week's rankings will then set the seeding for the Australian Open. So there's a chance, if a few players have some deep runs, that Draper could get knocked down to 17th, and then that means he's in a different seeding bracket. But my real hope is that he, because I know that Hercatch, who's one of the people behind him, has a lot of points to defend this week, because he got to the final of winning pretty much all his matches in the United Cup last year. So I'm hoping he won't overtake Draper. That there will be a few players that have the potential to overtake him, but he doesn't get overtaken. And it means that he could be a top 16 seed. And it just means that he has a couple of matches against unseeded players. Hopefully he doesn't pull like a Kyrgios or something like that. It should just be an absolute bugger if he could there. But there's some people he's never heard of, or people that he has a good record against, to warm himself into the tournament before then hopefully try and at least get to the second week, which I think a second week run would be a very good result for Jack if he could do that. So currently 5-3 to Fritz. Make that probably. Oh no, it's still 5-3. Auger-Aliassime is 40-15 up on his serve. Goes down the tee, just goes slightly long. Backhand by Fritz. Beautifully put away by Fritz there. And now it just, Draper versus Kyrgios, risky for Drapes, but I mean, maybe a second round match. If it could be a second round match, Draper versus Kyrgios, that would be cool, because it means that Jack could get the first round in. I just don't want him to draw anyone difficult in the first round, given he hasn't played a match yet. Just, somebody ranked something like 50 to 100 in the world, or one of the 50 to 100 in the world, not even one of the qualifiers, because they'll have matches under their belt on the surface. But yeah, somebody ranked like 50 to 100 in the world, or one of the wild cards. Just to be able to, have a match where he can make some mistakes, but he can work himself into the tournament. Draws blooming Berrettini or Kyrgios or anything like that in the first round, he might as well say curtains to the old event. Score backhand by Fritz, just lands out. So that then means it is currently 5-4. So the players will be going to the chairs with their teams. Fritz knowing that if he can hold on for one service game, he will win the tie, get his first win of the season of 2025 in the year 2024. And then that will be a pretty good position to be in. Super Dave saying, yeah, I doubt Nick has more than a couple of rounds of 3 out of 5 tennis in him. I suspect so. But it's going to be interesting seeing how he performs in Brisbane. The conditions are very hot and very humid, so quite energy sapping. But as we know, Nick's game doesn't necessarily mean that he has to play. He's not too physical as a player. But be interesting to see. He's got Mapeshi Pericard in the first round. That's probably easy in terms of there's not going to be many long rallies in that one. But how well he can do there may dictate how well we think he will end up doing in the Aussie Open. Because, we know how good Nick, take away what you think of the guy, and he's an incredibly problematic individual. But take away what you think of the guy. His tennis level is that of a top 10 player. There is no doubt. His serve is just too good not to get him, not to get him high up in the rankings and whatnot. It's just his mentality and other aspects of his game, his body, which seems to be a key thing at the moment, that are preventing him from sort of realizing that any further than it is at the moment. So Taylor comes out. Let's go and cover this now. So ball up. Tries to go down the line. No luck, hits the net, so we're on to a second serve. It goes into the middle, backhand, just backhand into the net there. A bit of a funny one there from Taylor. Love 15 to FAA. I wish I had that serve. You can keep the rest. Yeah, I think the most tennis players, when they get asked about what parts of certain games do they want to take from certain players, they all say they want Kyrgios's serve because it's just so quick, so pinpoint. As that was not pinpoint from Auger-Aliassime, went for a backhand down the line winner and hit it well long. But they say that whenever they speak to him, that every player says that they want his serve. It's so quick, it's so unreadable as well, which is key. Because when he goes for the ball toss, you don't know, you can't tell from any little, movements or whatnot which side it's going to go. Oh, that ball just lands out there from Fritz. He just needs to keep a concentration on here. 15-30 at the moment. Well, a minute, I've not had any tea, so I'm kind of hoping he does get it done here. Goes up the line. Oh, perfectly placed up the line from Taylor. $30 all at the moment. Now, 2 more good serves. Ball in the air. Goes down the line again. Oh, it just clipped the net, though. Or just out. Just called out. Is on the time. Backhand by Fritz. Backhand by Fritz again. Oh, he's been pushed back by Felix where possible. Felix is really playing dangerous with the lines there. Goes cross court by Fritz. Down the line by FAA, and it was in. And it's in. It was a brilliant backhand winner. First break point here. First break point. First break point, and it's probably the worst time for Taylor if possible to try and get this match wrapped up. Ball in the air. Oh, tries to go across court, hits the net, second serve. There's a real chance here for FAA. In the middle, backhand by Fritz, backhand by Taylor, by Felix. Forehand by Fritz, backhand by FAA. Just goes long there, but it just lands in. Up the line there by Fritz, gets to it by FAA. Cross court though by Taylor, and it's out. And Team Canada have survived. 5-all. The break has been retrieved. Taylor was unable to serve it out. Fritz will be certainly disappointed with that. He has held serve all throughout this match so far. So we are still going to continue. As Jake is watching Dan Evanson last night. Let me know how it looks, Dan. Brilliant serve down the tee there by Auger-Aliassime. Makes it 15 love. Just lands on the line there. Yeah, see what they were saying. Some great shot, great game from Felix. Definitely some tight shots popping up. Felix goes down the tee again. Forehand by Taylor. Just about lands in. Forehand by Felix. Backhand by Taylor. Forehand by Felix. Just about sliced up there by Taylor. Going cross court. Felix is just on a mission at the moment. Man on a mission. He is up for this one. Backhand down the line, perfectly placed. Makes it 40 love to Auger-Aliassime. Goes cross court, perfectly placed. He goes back to the chair, and from being in the situation where Taylor went out for the last service game, serving for the match, he is now serving to stay in the second set. See what they're saying. Felix has found a purple patch. Let's see how long it can, hope he can ride it out. He has found a purple patch. And what was looking like it was going to be a quite straightforward win for Taylor and Team America has suddenly turned on its head. Currently, FAA is looking the most dangerous to win this set. And from that point onwards, don't know where else this could end up going. So Fritz is calm out for this. Rightio. So can Felix get the break to take the second set, or will Taylor force a tie break? Down the tee, just comes forward, just goes down the line. Perfectly placed by Fritz. Love 15. And the air goes down, goes cross court, perfectly placed. Well, where was this serving performance from Fritz in the last service game? I think I hear some fans cry. Man on a mission, it seems, to get to that tiebreaker. We'll just clip to the net. There goes out second serve. Forehand by both. Forehand, just about in. FAA just the conductor a bit at the back of the court at the moment. Slice there by FAA. Oh, perfectly up the line there by Felix. Makes it 15-30. Just built himself into the service game. FAA is perfectly built for tennis. He can look unbeatable when his brain and his body work together. They certainly can do. They certainly can do. Balls up. Forehand by Felix. Down the thing. Oh, just about gets to it. Down the line, though. Goes on the back and behind there by Fritz. Having been put, he's really having to get to every single ball, it feels like. There's like a third ball, a fifth ball, a ball that they weren't expecting. So 40-15 at the moment. So it's looking likely, and I know I said this before, but it's looking likely that we could be seeing I say that as Felix hits a brilliant backhand winner. So this is looking tight. Can't miss at the moment. It's certainly can. Jake saying, come on, FAA, kick his ass. Goes across court, just goes out. So second serve here to be looked at. Forehand at the line. Forehand by Felix. Fritz. Oh, he's just nothing's getting missed. And it isn't, and it's juice, and it's a juice now. Fritz is on the ropes. Fritz is on the ropes. Oh, that just because that must have only literally just been out. It looked in from where I was sitting. Forehand by Felix, forehand by Fritz. All just about clicks over there. Backhand, forehand up the line by Felix. Was that in? It was in. And Auger-Aliassime all of a sudden has set point. Has set point. From 40-15 down in this service game, Felix has now got won 3 points on the row. If he gets a fourth, they're going to a third set. Cross court, perfectly paced there by Fritz, though. Jake asking, is FAA still with Uncle Tony? My understanding is that he isn't. I've been at both in a party companies a year ago or something. So Fritz down the line. Forehand by FAA, forehand by Fritz, forehand by FAA. All big forehands here, backhand there by Fritz, forehand by FAA, cross court, and he just perfectly placed it. And we have a second set point. We're on to a second set point here. Ball in the air, goes down the tee, forehand by Fritz, just lands in, and that lands out. And Auger-Aliassime has taken the second set, 7-5. A brilliant return there. Now puts this tie into the balance. We have 1 set to go. 1 set to go between these two. Felix is very happy about that. It feels like a complete 180. I will admit, it does feel like a complete 180. Taylor Fritz was 6-4, 5-3 at one stage, certainly 5-4, coming out to serve for the match to get this tie done and dusted. Gets broken. Felix holds. Had 2 game points to take it to a tiebreaker. And then eventually loses his own serve to lose the set and to go, as we now go to the distance. Going into it now, you would certainly say Auger-Aliassime has the momentum. He has the momentum in this match. Right, so yeah, I mean they're going late in certainly going late in Perth. Key to remember as well is that if Team Canada do end up taking this, and Felix ends up taking this, it will be one tie apiece or one match apiece, and it will go to a decide. Well, we will play it anyway, but it will mean that the deciding doubles or mixed doubles match will decide who wins the tie. So, and key to remember here that, and just to read what people are saying here, I've always wanted Tony to coach Casper. Matthew, Team USA should press the red button. Should press the red button. Super Dave, geez, we've got what's got into Felix at the end of that set. Lol, I see Fritz winning in the third, but wow, did not see this coming. I didn't either. Good score, Jake. Hi, Matthew. Matthew saying Felix is having a hot moment, but now he has the rest. I'm not sure how long he can maintain this. Let's see who gets the just out there from Felix. I mean, the best thing at the moment for Fritz to do would certainly be to get that early break, just to kill any momentum that may be on the Auger-Aliassime side. That would be the best thing to do. But of course, it's easier said than done, especially with this, how well these two can serve when they are on. Backhand by Felix. Oh, is that just out? It was just in. That's going to land on the wrong side of the net, and that makes it 15-all. Win Predictor currently has Taylor Fritz just in the lead at 52-48%, basically 50-50. The Win Predictor thinks it's a 50-50 match. So 30-15 to Auger-Aliassime at the moment. Hits into the net, so that makes it nothing there. Let's see, forehand cross the line there. So that makes it 40-15 to Auger-Aliassime. Matthew saying Felix playing passive leads to him breaking down first in the rally. He goes aggressive, and unless he's in the zone, the errors flow. That can happen if he isn't properly zoned in. The line there, forehand by Taylor. Oh, that was just out, and that means it's Felix holds his serve here. One love to the Canadian. One love to the Canadian. Dave saying agree. Felix is the best when looking to be attacked. He's not a grinder, even if he wants to be. Okay, let's see if Fritz, who has lost his service game twice in a row now, is it going to be the hat trick, or will he stem the tide? Not that first ball as it goes out. And that was out as well. So that makes it 15 love. Love 15 to Auger-Aliassime. Felix has always been a heavy serve and +1 forehand kind of guy. Doesn't have a net game. Has a pretty stiff backhand. Always found him quite one-dimensional. Potentially, yeah. Well, that's a hypothesis on or a summary of his game there, Jake. But I still want him to kick Fritz's ass. Well, I'd certainly have him as the favourite now in this set with that momentum. Doesn't they get a good response on that ball? 30-15 to Fritz. Oh. Back down by Fritz into the net. Fritz knows that he wants his lack of foot backhand there. Up in the air, it comes forward, puts it away. So that makes it 40-30 to Fritz. Into the net there by Auger-Aliassime, and then that means it is 1 game apiece. 1 game apiece. So the tide has been stemmed. He has held Sir Fritz, which I'll be happy about. I guess he was still probably at this stage be quite livid with the fact that he just ended up losing a set that was in the palm of his hands. Really, there was no indication that he was gonna be losing his service game until he lost his service game. Out wide, other line there by Fritz, backhand by FIA, other line in the air there by Fritz, and that lands out. Super Dave says Shelton is his favourite US ATP player. Cool. Coco for the women's. Nice one. It's two good players to have that one. So 30 love to Auger-Aliassime. It's a beauty out wide on that one there. Makes it 40 love. Super Dave saying, mate, Felix is just executing his patterns right now. He certainly is. See ball, hit ball, place ball where I will need ball to be. Out wide again. No ability for Fritz to get any real connection on that. And it is 2-1. 2-1. Get some lovely shots of the beach. Yeah, 2-1. So everyone's held serve at the moment. Nobody's been broken in this set so far. So see if there was a FAA fan once, but not anymore. I should hopefully he's down from Montpellier FAA. Hopefully I should be able to see him play that, which would be quite cool. Looking at his team. I'm also keeping an eye, probably guess about on the darts as well, with the World Championship. Oh, it's on. Oh, I thought a 9 darter was on there. Okay, Fritz. Oh, into the net there by FAA, so that makes it 15 love to Fritz. So 30 love at the moment to Fritz. He's just holding on well at the moment. He's just holding on well at that 40 love. And then Jake saying Montpellier should be a fun event to attend. I've always wanted to do a French indoor tournament on offer. I'm prioritizing some of the challenges this season. You certainly should do. I've been to Marseille on a couple of occasions. That was good. That's a good event. Even though you could probably imagine, certainly when you go to like a 250 French challenge, at Paris and Montpellier, they know they're going to have an international. You have people from all over the world that are going to attend. But when I went to Marseille, and I know I'm going to get this sort of weird looks in Montpellier, as soon as you open your mouth and you hear you're not from France, they kind of do look at you a bit funny, like, well, what are you doing here? Why are you at a French 250 event? And I'm like, well, I like tennis. I like watching live tennis, and France is very close to the UK, so it's always a fun one. But Marseille was excellent. Lyon, I went to that one when it was a women's event there, the 250 there, and like I said, the big indoor one, the Paris Masters, I've been to on a couple of occasions as well. Super Dave saying it's the mind of the top of the game, and I don't think FA has that little bit of extra mentality. Bangs, clutchness, something isn't quite there potentially. Yeah. So it's currently 2-2 at the moment. Line goes for the drop shot, doesn't quite work out for FAA there, tries to switch it up. Goes down the tee, perfectly placed there by FAA down the tee. That makes it 30-15. Forehand by Fritz, forehand by FAA, cross court, perfectly placed by FAA. That makes it 40-30, 40-15, sorry. It's not looking too bad. Make sure I take some water on board. Make sure my mouth don't dry out. As De Graaf has beaten the breeder in the darts. Cross court, forward by Fritz, up the line by FAA. Oh, really, really quick, that ball. French raising an eyebrow from somebody not from France. It's a tradition, probably. Probably on that one. All right, let me just quickly go to the loop.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
See you, Jake. But thanks for joining us for a bit. I hope Man City lose as a Man United fan. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Oh, it's Fritz, it's the net there. I mean, at the moment, if you were to ask me to basically put a flag in the ground to say who I think would win this, I would certainly say it's looking Auger-Aliassime is looking the more likely at the moment. Into the net there by Felix. I just think this may be a service game that Felix could target. Good serve though there by Fritz. Good second serve with the slice. Makes it 15-all. Sport and Politics saying, what happened to Felix the other day? Oh, that's when he lost to Borna Coric. He was a set and a breakup, I think, at one stage. And he just fell apart against Borna Coric somehow. I mean, what happened was that Borna became a lot more consistent and Felix became too passive. And then, hey presto, he lost. Sport and Politics is going for Sinner and Sabalenka again. I'm guessing that's to win the Australian Open. For the AO, there we go. I tell you what, you'll be hard pressed to look past those two to win again. But you never know. You know, maybe there could be a Zheng or a Swiatek who could cause an upset in the also an upset, but could be a major challenger in the women's. Maybe Alcaraz could stake a claim, or Djokovic going on that last run, that 25th Slam run. You never know. And hello, breakpoint town. Auger-Aliassime now with 2 breakpoint chances. So Sport and Pod saying Felix winning a set here also feels like a win given how much they've been difficult in injury trajections. Right, okay. Goes cross court. That is wide from Fritz. Felix. Down the line. Backhand by Felix. Backhand by Fritz. Backhand by Felix. Forehand by Fritz. Oh, that was a wild forehand there by Fritz. And all of a sudden, Auger-Aliassime, from being a set and a breakdown, is now 2 games away, 2 holds away from his first ever win against Taylor Fritz. And to take the tie, to basically mean that if Felix and Leylah Fernandez were able to win the mixed doubles after this, they would win the group and Team USA would be in danger of being dumped out of the competition early. Points here or there, swing matches. And right now, Felix is looking so good to potentially win this match. Up the line there by FA. Oh, but it seems as though Felix is a bit more locked in. Super Dave saying Fritz isn't doing well in longer rallies. He's not anymore. He's not anymore. In the air by Felix, goes cross court, perfect. Oh, no, wasn't perfectly placed. I had it as a thing there. Crazy flip flop match, though. I thought it was going to be over in 2 as well. I had this down certainly once Felix Fritz had got that break in a second. That was all she wrote for this match. And a poor second serve return from Fritz just takes any pressure off. It would have felt like it could have been building on the Auger-Aliassime serve. 15-all now at the moment. What a turnaround this is turning into. Goes cross court, beautifully placed by the Canadian. (30-15) as it currently stands. Goes cross court. Another beautiful cross court ball from Felix. The ball lands out from the return from Fritz. And that makes it 40-15. One more point, and Auger-Aliassime will be 5-2 up in the third set. And this match will then this tie will still be in the balance. Goes down just clips off the top of the net there. So it means we've got a second serve here that Felix is looking at. Or Felix is going to deliver in and for Fritz to be able to look at. Because I see backhand by both. Backhand, forehand, long forehand from Auger-Aliassime. Just still needs to stay locked on. He just still needs to stay locked on. Remember as well, this Auger-Aliassime has never beaten Taylor Fritz. 2-0 is their current head-to-head record. Oh, just about gets that down the line. Really is locked in, it seems, at the moment. Fritz, FAA, sorry. Goes cross court, backhand by Fritz, backhand by FAA, backhand by Fritz. Oh, but that wasn't locked in. That wasn't locked in. That was a shanked backhand there by Auger-Aliassime. And all of a sudden, we are to deuce. Is the swing in momentum going to swing again? That forehand that was about 20 feet out. Mate, if he wants to win this, he cannot get too giddy. Goes cross court. Felix, FAA just about gets something to that, but it is out. And it means that FAA has a game point again. Good serve there from Felix. His serve is going to help him out a lot here. Down the tee. Oh, beautifully placed. Smasher down the tee there from Felix Auger-Aliassime. And we are at 5-2. 5-2 in this match. 5-2. This match has changed on has done a complete 180. Complete 180. So we're now in a position where not only 25 minutes ago we were sat here, or at least half an hour ago, we were sat here going, well, Felix Fritz is about to serve this out. Team USA are going to win the tie, and it looked pretty comfortable and pretty safe. But now we're in a position where if Auger-Aliassime can win one of the next 3 games, he can win. He will take the tie to the mixed doubles to decide who will win this, who will win it. Do note that, of course, I know I keep repeating myself, but that mixed doubles will take place regardless of the result in this match. But if Team Canada can somehow win this tie, or against the US, they will qualify as group winners. That is the situation we're in at the moment. Felix wins this match, and the mixed doubles goes Canada's way. Canada will win the group, and Team USA will have to try and smash Croatia to stand any chance of qualifying for the knockout stages. Given that given how comfortably the Germans and the Chinese were able to win their matches against Brazil, they certainly would need to have strong wins, certainly win 3-0, and to have a lot of straight sets wins to achieve that against the Croatians. Matthew pointing out that 8 out of the last 10 games have gone to Felix. It has been a ridiculously good turnaround from the Canadian. They would like to, if entirely possible, to get it done here. Backhand by Felix into the net, though, there by Fritz. Love 15. I think FAA. Oh, mate. Remember, for 22 months. That's a good little thing pop up. Thanks for this call, James. Always exciting to see you calling a match. Oh, thank you, Jane. That's good to hear. 22 months, remember, it's popped up as well. That's pretty neat. 2 years, you're 2 months off the 2-year anniversary. Goes cross court, backhand by Felix, lovely and sharp. That one was that, and that was out as well. And that means it's love 32. Felix Auger-Aliassime. He is saying, "I am here for this. I'm going to break you at Fritz. I'm going to break you, and that's how I am going to win this match." Goes down the tee, backhand by Felix, but it was out originally from Fritz, so a second serve. Goes down the tee again, backhand up the line by Felix, backhand by Fritz, backhand by Felix. Oh, but that was a slightly error-strewn backhand from Auger-Aliassime, maybe getting a little bit too excited. Goes cross court from Fritz, perfectly placed. Fritz is saying, "No, I'm not. I'm not letting you have this. You're not going to have it on my serve." So see, backhand into the net there by Fritz. So 40-30 to Fritz. In the air, goes down the tee. Forehand by Felix, backhand by Fritz. Come up to the line. On the line it goes from Auger-Aliassime. Takes it to juice. This is going somewhere. Goes cross court. Forehand by Fritz. And it lands on the line, does it? Oh, no, it doesn't. It just lands slightly long. I thought he hit a brilliant forehand cross-court winner there, but no luck on that one. So advantage Fritz. So it's there. Taylor's just taking his hold to try and get a point here. Slice comes forward for Fritz, down the tee, and there we go. He thinks the ball back over the net. His ball's in his pockets over the net, and says, "Right, FAA, if you want this, you're going to have to serve for it." All right, ball in the air by FAA. Forward there by Fritz. Cross court by FAA. Back by Fritz. Up the line. Was that on the line? I felt like it was on the... Oh, it was beautifully placed on the line there by Felix. Right into the corner as well. Okay, ball in the air by Felix. Goes cross court. Just about gets in the air there by Fritz. Lands out. And we're half. And Felix Auger-Aliassime is halfway home. Halfway home here. Brilliant serve out wide. When your opponent is playing as well as you have thrown them way out the purple patch, people usually come back down to earth after a while. Usually, this purple patch has been quite a big one for Felix at the moment. Another thunderous serve out wide. It's like watching an eagle with wings, the way he can get that ball out wide on both sides. And that means that Felix Auger-Aliassime has what Taylor Fritz did not, or three match points to win the match and to take it to the mixed doubles to decide the tie winner. Ball in the air, goes down the tee, hits the net, second serve. Ball kid just comes out to get the ball. Goes cross court, backhand by Fritz, backhand by FAA, but it's out. Just straight to the feet. Didn't move his feet properly there, Felix. And it's now onto a second match point. Those serves are on fire. Those serves are certainly on fire. Goes up the line, just slightly long. So second serve. Tries to go across court. That's a double fault. Is it all unraveling? Is it all unraveling? 2 match points have come and gone. He's on to his third. Very nervous, very tense situation to be in. Goes cross court, just clicks the net and out. This is getting tight and tense. Cross court, backhand by Fritz, backhand by FAA, backhand by Fritz. Cross court by FAA, backhand by Fritz. Up the line by FAA, just in the air by Thingy, and it lands out. And all the comeback of comebacks takes place in Perth. Felix Auger-Aliassime beats Taylor Fritz 4-6, 7-5, 6-3. He comes from a set and a breakdown. And I think at one stage certainly was close to near enough, a couple of points away from going out, from at least losing the match. And he takes a match which looked all to the world as though it was going to Taylor Fritz, Team USA, and to give Team USA the tie. And all of a sudden, there's now jeopardy in this match. There is now jeopardy in this. There's now jeopardy in this tie. We go to the mixed doubles. And we know how well Leylah Fernandez and Felix Auger-Aliassime are at the mixed doubles together. This could be interesting. I think we're going to get Coco Gauff and Fritz out for the doubles on for the Team USA. So we could see all the singles players back out on a doubles court to decide who is going to win this tie. Remember, and I will say it again because I keep saying it because I'm blue in the face. USA win it. They win the tie. All 3 teams could still win the group somehow. Canada win it. Canada win the group. And then Team USA are fighting out to try and get that best second place team. Big match coming up. Canada are 1 game away from winning the tie. I hope everyone has enjoyed this stream. all the matches in 2025 we'll try and cover as we can. Only more left of the United Cup and all those cool bits going into the Australian Open. It should be an exciting year ahead. Thank you everyone for joining, and goodbye.